Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that finally was able to telepathically channel a WWE superstar and get them to tell the truth when Seth Rollins opened Raw this week. It's Lost to the Midcard. Welcome. It's a big weekend coming up in pro wrestling. Final Battle is on Friday. WWE TLC is on Sunday. We're going to preview both of those cards for you. And, of course, Raw and SmackDown both kind of brought it this week, so it makes a little more excitement heading into TLC, so that's definitely a good thing. Lots of headlines to talk about, and, of course, this week's being the Elite, as well as Raw and SmackDown and NXT and 205 Live. But first, thank you to thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. And keep an eye out on social media for select special editions of Lost in the Midcard. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that on our social media. Facebook at facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Or on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of great tweets within the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Definitely, you're right. It's definitely a big weekend in the world of professional wrestling. And looking forward to one show more than the other. I think, I guess we'll cover all that down as we go over the show today.
Yeah, and it's going to be real interesting what kind of elite things happen on Friday, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're going to know the entire story after the first match.
Exactly. Not the first match. I think
the first match involving
the elite,
either Paige, Cody, or the Bucks.
Yep. Then
we'll know the story immediately after that first match happens. But I still stand by my guns that this whole thing could be a work. And that the Elite could end Final Battle with all the Ring of Honor gold.
Yeah, we'll find out what the people predict here at the end of the show, because we've got a third on the show as well. Welcome back. He's on the Twitter at No One Like D. Darryl Bullock is back in the house, and he's ready for some Final Battle. Darryl, how you doing?
I'm good, man. You guys know I love my ROH, so I'm looking forward to Friday like a kid on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, and then we'll have to maybe get you back next week for your take on Final Battle. I got some friends that are having a little Final Battle get together. So
I'm actually at the TV tapings in Philly the next day.
Nice. Let's kick things off with some sad news. A couple of legends passed away in the past week. Earlier this week, the Dynamite Kid, Thomas Billington, found out he had passed away at the age of 60. Obviously, one of the guys that started off in Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling in Calgary before becoming one of the most legendary tag teams in the world with the British Bulldog. Of course, the British Bulldogs in the early to mid-'80s. They had some amazing battles with the Hart Foundation, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. They actually defeated those guys at WrestleMania 2 to win the tag team championships. So unfortunately, we learned the passing of yet another wrestler way too soon in the Dynamite Kid. And also, this just came down a few days ago as well. The grandfather of Curtis Axel, father of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Larry the Axe Hennig, passed away at the age of 82. He was a former AWA World Tag Team Champion. Also would go on to be one of the definitive NWA World Heavyweight Champions as well, with course, he held the tag titles in the AWA with the Hall of Famer Harley Race. And Curtis Axel posted on social media, 82 years old, 5 kids, 28 grandkids. No one has had a bigger impact on my wrestling career than my Papa Axe. He's been my biggest supporter since day one. Another father when I lost mine. We lost our king of the jungle today. Never thought I'd see this day, but he's with my dad now, so everything will be okay. Love you, Papa Axe. The Hennings have always held our heads up high, and will continue to do so. Rest assured, the Henning name will live on forever. So, a couple of legends gone today. It's the sad world that we live in here in pro wrestling, isn't it?
Sad but true, my brother. Sad but true.
XFL, as we talked about last week, some teams leaked, and I believe every team that we said that leaked was true. The official press conference came down on the 5th of December last week. 8 teams, and of course it starts the relaunch in February of 2020. Here you go, Matt. Here's another one to laugh at. MetLife Stadium is going to be hosting the New York team.
How the fuck do they think that's going to work?
In February of 2020.
They're out of their damn minds.
Not
only do I not think they can fill that stadium for an XFL game, ain't nobody going to want to be in MetLife Stadium in February for football. Like, I don't even want to be there I don't even want to be there in March for WrestleMania or April. No amount of money going to get me in MetLife Stadium in fucking February.
I mean,
they are out of their fucking minds.
It's not like there's football being played in October, November, or December at MetLife either. Oh, yep. Another cold.
Incorrect there, sir. But all right.
Huh?
Hey, I enjoyed that one.
I think the Jets and Giants have a combined 6 wins on the year, maybe. Washington
doesn't mean they're still not going to play games there in December.
Okay, it was a joke, by the way.
Well, tell a better joke.
Another cold weather site, Washington, D.C. will host a team at Audi Field.
Yeah, but at least that stadium's like a quarter of the size of freaking MetLife.
True, yeah. Is MetLife like $100,000?
No,
not that big.
No,
I would say probably around 75. Darryl.
Yeah, about 75 or so.
Yeah, I think it's about 7. Yeah, I think MetLife holds about 75.
Hold up. The XFL's hosting at Audi Field. Like, that's a fucking soccer stadium.
Yeah, but it's more along the lines of a stadium that I think the XFL has a chance of filling.
Let's put it at the old RFK. Shit.
Well, there's a lot of
RFK is pretty run down though, man.
Aren't a lot of MLS teams playing on football fields that are usually sometimes?
I know that the Philadelphia team plays at Lincoln Financial Field. I know they play there.
I mean, the freaking Raiders play on a fucking baseball field. So I mean,
that's true.
How bad could a soccer stadium be?
Yeah, I mean, the running back goes for a double every time in September. So the Houston is playing at TD ECU Stadium. I'm not sure what that is exactly. St. Louis plays at the Dome at America's Center. Seattle will be playing at Century League Field, where the Seahawks play. Dallas at Globe Life Park, and Tampa, where the Bucks play, Raymond James Stadium.
Am I the only one that doesn't like that there's 2 teams in Texas? I just feel like if you only have 8 teams, should really 2 of them be in the same? Should 2 of them be in the same state?
Yeah,
I mean, am I wrong here? Do you guys agree with me on this?
I think they're just going market wise.
Yeah, because there's no Chicago, which is kind of surprising.
But Chicago's a pretty big market.
It's not surprising at all. Because unless you're doing an indoor stadium in February in Chicago, there's
that's a little brutal.
Football team there in the XFL.
But why would you do it in New York or DC too? It's cold as fuck up there too.
It ain't as bad as Chicago.
Apparently, MetLife Stadium has their hands down Vince's pants or something. Get WrestleMania back.
New York has it down his pants. Period.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for that. What was that, Vince?
Feels good.
Oh, ooh. I'm just waiting for that blizzard on WrestleMania weekend. I'm just waiting for it.
Meanwhile, I paid my heat bill, and I will be watching it on my 70-inch.
Oh yeah, I will be on the comfort of my couch for that one for damn sure.
I'm paying for WrestleMania $9.99.
I'm gonna make a new email account and a new PayPal account. No, I'm kidding. I've been since day one, and not even ish. I've been since day one on the WWE Network, and I've paid $9.99. I've paid my dues.
I think we've all paid our $9.99.
Team names will be revealed in the future. No former XFL teams will be resurrected. If you were hoping, I don't think anybody was hoping, but
I don't think anybody cares.
No.
You got to start fresh, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got to rejuvenate it somehow.
You got to start over. You can't just go back to the past and pull out the names. I mean, Vince does that enough in the WWE. Let's start fresh in the XFL, can we?
Yeah, that's where he brought in the sports consultants to do some work on this, and yeah, he's like, yeah, we're not going to repeat those teams. Probably not going to repeat those commercials either, are we?
It's where all my stock money went.
Well, we know, Vince. We know.
Shut up!
And, of course, the commissioner of the XFL is the father of Indianapolis Colts quarterback Oliver Luck. He is going to be the first commissioner. And will he assign a general manager to the XFL?
No, I think he's just going to somehow convince Andrew Luck to leave the NFL and go play for him.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
That's a negative.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know if Andrew Luck would have been injured one more year. I bet you that could have been a likelihood.
Yeah, but I don't think the XFL is paying NFL money. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and Luck's
I'm actually really curious about what the pay rate's going to be for these guys.
Luck's having a pretty good season too, statistically at least. Hey, Darryl's going to be here. TV taping at the 2300 Arena in Philly. It's going to feature the following matches: TV champion Jeff Cobb against Luchasaurus in a proving ground match. Rush from CMML is going to take on TK O'Ryan. Zack Sabre Jr., who's making his debut at Final Battle, he'll take on Tracy Williams. PJ Black takes on Juice Robinson. The Bucks, Cody, and Hangman Page will make their final appearance in ROH, so we think. Also scheduled to appear the Best Friends, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and Holodead. So that'll be taping right after Final Battle.
I'm telling you, dude, if the Elite leave Final Battle with all the titles, this was the greatest work of all time.
Yep.
I don't think anything will get better than this. If they have pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, they're gonna walk out of a Final Battle with all the gold.
If they walk out with all the gold and on being the Elite next week, does that clock all of a sudden fast forward to 0? It's like because we already know.
I know at this point to expect the unexpected in professional wrestling, and I'm not rolling anything out at this point.
It's so interesting to see where the chips fall, and you know what? I bet there's nobody would more happy to see the Elite win all the gold than Marty Scurll, because then he would know for a fact that these guys are going to have nothing to do on January 1st, so then he could have his New Year's Day party.
Kenny's going.
A classic is returning, as the Hollywood Reporter announced. Ice Cube is reviving Celebrity Deathmatch, of course. Lots of WWE superstars, including Austin, Mankind, Vince McMahon, Undertaker, The Rock, were made appearances in Celebrity Deathmatch. So hopefully some WWE superstars will make their way to the revival. Did you guys ever watch the original back in the day?
I sure did.
I loved Celebrity Deathmatch. I even bought the lousy PS2 video game.
Oh, was it terrible?
It wasn't good. But I was such a fan of the show and the franchise that I was, supporting it no matter what, because I didn't want it to go away. I'm really excited to see this coming back. I hope they do it justice.
Ice Cube's going to produce it, and good news for those fans of the original Deathmatch. The original creator, Eric Fogel, will be the executive producer. So one of the originals within the creation is going to have a large role in that. If you are wondering how popular the man is nowadays, Becky Lynch took to Twitter last week and said her Royal Rumble VIP access sold out in 90 seconds. Not too
That's
shabby.
fucking crazy.
Not too shabby for the man. Matt, do you still listen to the Taz show now and again?
I do not, no.
Well,
Because he kind of branched off into doing like Taz and the Moose
Oh.
nowadays, and he has like his Taz show kind of just turned into a podcast. I'm more about Busted Open nowadays.
I love Busted Open.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
It gets me through my work day.
Apparently, the Daniel Bryan Miz TV segment last week from SmackDown was looks like Taz got hacked. Apparently,
Yeah, I heard about that online. Nobody should be surprised by that.
No.
WWE rips things off of podcasts and in shows all the time.
How many times have they ripped us off, Matt? Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect example.
A nice little hidden gem added to the hidden gem section of the WWE Network. A Stairway to Hell match from ECW, May 16th, 1998. That was like literally almost to the day when I graduated high school. The Dudley Boys faced Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, and Spike Dudley. Stairway to Hell match. Barbed wire hangs high above the ring, and as you can assume, there will be blood. Ratings. Well, speaking of blood, ratings this week. Impact 116,000. Basically the norm for their new time slot. Holy bejesus! SmackDown Live last week dropped under 2 million. Thanks Raw, because SmackDown Live was good last week.
As go Raw, as go the WWE.
Yeah, 1 point.
That is an unfortunate statement, but it's very true.
1.948 million. The very first time SmackDown Live has fallen below 2 million since episode 899. That was in over 2 years ago, right before SmackDown 900 when Undertaker made his return. So November 2016, last time SmackDown Live fell under 2 million, and they did so here. And Monday Night Raw continued to slide as well because it's been crap. But at least this week was a lot better, and we'll get into that later on. But they did slide to 2.19 million this week. The third hour barely made 2 million. Yikes. We'll talk about this guy making his debut on NXT here later on in the show, but Triple H also posted his little typical pose with the new guy in the suit, and that new guy is Punishment Martinez. Triple H saying, imposing, unrelenting, focused, and ready. This is just the beginning for Punishment Martinez in NXT. Expect to see big things from him. Congratulations on his debut. He took on the Bro, the Super King of Bros, and we'll talk about that later on. Ring of Honor has hired former creative team member Kevin Eck full-time going forward. He'd been working on material for the Ring of Honor website previously and other content on a part-time basis, but he is now going to be with the company on a full-time basis. Matt, do you have any idea when Kevin Eck was there?
Not off the top of my head. I know the name, but I couldn't tell you when he was there.
I know the name too, and I just couldn't. And apparently, somebody's contract in Ring of Honor expires on December 31st. It's not involved with the Elite. Apparently, the Beer City Bruiser, and it sounds like he might be teasing a move to the WWE.
WWE ain't taking that fat ass.
Well, Mike Johnson at PW Insider said there was talks a few months ago that the WWE had interest. So
they just want him as a trainer, if anything.
Yeah, I can't see them putting him on TV.
I can see that same gimmick. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know about that. You guys watch Glow on Netflix, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Good show.
Allison Brie, who stars as Ruth Wilder in Glow, received a nomination for a Golden Globe in Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series. The Golden Globes will air on January 6th on NBC. That'd be very cool to see someone from Glow win that category. I have a feeling that's an uphill battle, but you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
True. Matt, I don't think you probably didn't watch Thursday Night Football. Darryl, did you watch Thursday Night Football this past week, Titans-Jaguars?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, did you see a Double J make an appearance in the pregame? That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw that slap nut.
That slap nut. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, I guess, the pregame ceremony for the Titans, they slam a sword into the field. And Jeff Jarrett did it with a SmackDown t-shirt, and he was proudly displaying that SmackDown t-shirt. Of course, SmackDown debuts on Fox October 4th, and boy, we can't wait, because that's gonna mix some things up, I think. But Jeff Jarrett coming. I was like, is that him? That is Jeff Jarrett. What the fuck? Okay. Congratulations to Melissa Santos and Brian Cage as they got engaged earlier this week. Of course, they had welcomed a child into the world just a few months ago. So, and of course, Cage is headlining the Homecoming pay-per-view against Johnny Impact coming up. We're coming to the end of the year, and we haven't heard anything with Pop. Is it the deal's done at the end of the year, right?
I hear that they have an agreement that they will be kept on into the new year. I don't know for how many months while they're looking for another deal.
Another deal elsewhere?
Yes. They are definitely looking for another deal elsewhere.
As we reported on Lost to the Midcard about a couple months back, MJF suffered a fractured elbow. He was the MLW middleweight champion, and now with that championship vacated, there is going to be a ladder match to crown a new champion for the live show in Miami this Friday, December 14th. So if you're not going to watch Final Battle, go on to Be In Sports and check out the first ever live MLW show. Also on the show, it's going to be No DQ champion. The heavyweight champion Low Key takes on Conan. Rush from CMLL takes on Rich Swann. And Tommy Dreamer takes on Brian Pillman Jr. in a Singapore Cane match. Well, the unfortunate story of former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Justin Credible just continues to go the other way, as on December 4th, Mike Johnson, PW Insider, and also Ryan Satin from Pro Wrestling Sheet learned that Justin Credible was arrested again with 3 counts of violating a protective order, criminal mischief in the 3rd degree, and assault in the 3rd degree, breach of peace in the 3rd degree, and has a hearing scheduled on January 19th. So,
fuck that guy.
That dude. You don't like that dude?
Dude, I'm so sick. Oh, you're never gonna catch me in jail again.
Oh, yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I'm done. I'm over this. Everything's great. And
I have a story about him.
I'm so sick of this guy.
So I stayed in the WrestleCon hotel in New Orleans for Mania, and he was like in the hallway, like right outside of WrestleCon. And I'm old enough. We're all old enough where we watched ECW, and he's one of my favorites. Impact
I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him back then. Yeah.
So I approached him and said, "Hey, Justin, like I really appreciate your work. I was a big fan of Impact players, this, that, and the other." He came off to me as a very humble guy. Like he was like, "Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. God bless. May the Lord bless you." Like he turned his life over to Christ. And when I heard this week, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's not the guy I met in New Orleans. That's not cool."
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's getting ridiculous. I mean, honestly. And it's just like every time you think the dude's, got himself better, he's right back in there over and over again. I mean, and seriously, at this point, the guy just needs help.
Yeah.
Right.
And somebody should freaking give it to him, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and I thought, hadn't the WWE tried?
I have no idea what the WWE has or hasn't tried.
Yeah. If he doesn't make bond, unfortunately, he'll be spending the holidays in jail.
Maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah, possibly. Give him some time to think until that court date that's coming up in about 5 weeks. Some scary news from House of Hardcore last week, this past weekend, when Big Cass went into a seizure and fell to the floor and was taken out in an ambulance. EMTs tended to Cass, and Tommy Dreamer came to the ring, asked the fans to say a prayer. He was taken to the hospital later on that night, about 10:33 Eastern, and Mike Johnson at PW Insider had said that he was coherent and speaking when he had left. Tommy Dreamer also posted an update on Twitter the next morning, actually the next evening. He said he spoke to Big Cass today and he's doing well. So, scary moment there at House of Hardcore. New Japan has announced some early 2019 dates coming up here. They're going to announce New Beginning USA. It's going to be a bi-coastal series, 2 cities on January 30th and February 1st, as, of course, Darryl just told you about. They're going to be taking place in L.A. and Charlotte, North Carolina. And
I can't wait.
This will be the third different special for the United States and as part of the New Japan expansion plan in the U.S. Wrestle Kingdom's going to be real interesting, just to see where the torch is passed and where the chips fall. I mean, obviously the heavyweight championship is pretty cut and dry if that's going to Tanahashi, but it's going to be interesting if some stuff comes out of this that's newsworthy. I don't know what or who, but I mean, do you guys have any inklings on what they need to do to put excitement back into it?
My personal opinion, better booking. Better booking with the talent that you have should, help the overall product, even when you're losing, the elite. But I don't know if Gato's that smart.
Yeah. Don't know. But January 4th, definitely going to be an interesting date in the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling with everybody that is going. As we have mentioned, the Pinnacle YouTube series for Ring of Honor. The 3rd episode has been released this week, and it looks at the feud between Bully Ray and Flip Gordon. The lawsuit between Colt Cabana, who he filed this past August with CM Punk about unpaid legal fees and a breach of contract, has been dismissed by the Cook County Court in Illinois, and Cabana decided to file a second lawsuit.
Hey, keep wasting that money, Colt.
All right, so this one gets dismissed, and you're just going to do...
You're going to fucking try again. Like,
right.
How dumb are you?
Okay.
Dumb, Cabana!
It sounds like a scorned woman.
Yep. Like, get over it. The court already told you were wrong. To come back and try to file again, just it reeks of desperation. And honestly, it doesn't look good on you, Colt.
No. WWE is holding around a tryouts at the Performance Center. This actually starting tomorrow, December 12th. Names from PW Insider confirmed are Eric Spicely, who's a former UFC middleweight fighter, 32 years old. Also competed with Beyond Wrestling in the New England territories. Penelope Ford, known as the Bad Girl, she's a regular in the Northeast independent wrestling scene, known for working alongside Joey Janela. She is 26 years old, recently challenged Jazz for the NWA Women's title at NWA 70. She also worked at the All In pay-per-view.
Yeah, she's going to be a big get for WWE if they sign her, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. I think that's probably to me that's a no-brainer. Unless she does something stupid at the PC, like I can't see them not picking her up.
Courtney Lemmings, she's a former high school volleyball player turned bodybuilding competitor from Colorado. She's also a model and actor. She is 22 years old. Tehuti Miles is a former University of Maryland football player. He is 28 years old. He has gone through the tryout process previously and has been very vocal about his pursuit for a WWE contract in recent years. So those are going to be the people competing there. And, of course, a whole new crop of people coming in January as well. So it's going to be an interesting time down in the PC. WWE Week always occurs right before Christmas, and this year is no exception. Monday and Tuesday, of course, Raw and SmackDown. Wednesday the 19th, there's going to be the New Day hosting their pancake-powered year-end special Super Year-End Spectacular. Thursday the 20th will be Tribute to the Troops, as well as a Ms. and Mrs. Marathon. And on Friday, USA will air San Andreas, starring The Rock. Did you guys ever see San Andreas?
No,
and I don't intend on seeing it then.
I saw it in the theater. It's a cool one to see in the theater with the big screen and the loudspeakers. But yeah, it's nothing special. And more on the look back. According to WWE, the New Day will host a fun look back at all the historic, outrageous, and unforgettable moments that made 2018 so super spectacular, featuring Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, John Cena, Becky Lynch, and some surprise superstar sightings.
I like surprises.
Joey Janela's Spring Break show, which is featuring Atsushi Onita, sold out immediately. Well, Joey announced that Part 2 is coming. It's going to be called The Greatest Clusterfuck. It's going to go down on April 6th, so fans that missed out on the first show that sold out in 4 minutes, they're going to come back with another completely different card, and this is The Greatest Clusterfuck. There we go. Tickets go on sale this Friday at noon for that one. And of course, if you want to go, I'd advise you to get on the old computer quickly, because that first one sold out really quick. Janela promised that the card would not begin until fans who were in attendance at ROH and New Japan's debut at Madison Square Garden would have time to arrive. So that's kind of cool too.
That's very cool.
I remember you
got to look out. You got to look out for your fan base.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember when we were down in Dallas and I went and saw Jim Ross, his one-man show at the House of Blues. It got a late start because he was waiting. They were waiting for people to arrive from the Hall of Fame. People want to go to a lot of those things, So it's kind of cool how they'll accommodate them. The man Becky Lynch was on Ariel Helwani's podcast, the MMA show, recently. If you go to that page, her segment begins a little over 2 hours into the show. She talks about basically her recent rise, and as well as the women main eventing WrestleMania this year, which I think's happened. I think they're going to main event TLC. I think they're going to main event Mania. I think we're in store for all that, don't you think?
You would certainly hope so.
Yeah, if you don't want Mania to be shitty.
And finally, backstage at SmackDown tonight was Jeff Jarrett. So apparently he must be increasing his exposure with the WWE here coming up. I don't know what is he. I don't know. Do you know? You know, Matt, what he's gonna? Is he gonna kind of be on air kind of guy down the road, or just kind of filming some things for the network, or do you know what his role with WWE is going forward?
They might signing him to the Legends deal and just telling him to take Global Force and stick it up his ass.
Yeah. Make him money talks and bullshit like Global Force walks. So if they want to pay him the money to shut that shit down, I'm sure Vince will do it. That horse has been walking on 3 legs for a long time.
Shit, I'll pay him the money to shut that shit down.
Make him the new GM of Raw.
No,
God, please don't.
Look at everybody getting them TNA flashbacks.
You asshole.
Being the Elite this week, episode 129. We're at the emergency room, and and we finally now know how we can get the SC back into CD, and that's through a blood transfusion.
He needed it. He fell down and broke his neck on a bottle.
He lost a lot of blood.
That shit was hilarious.
Are any of you guys typo positive? No, we're SCU.
We're SCU.
Well, since this is being the Elite, we'll allow it. Come back here with me. Oh man, SCU.
Dude, why the hell did they have to take blood out of Frankie's forehead?
Forehead? I don't know. I don't know.
Craziness.
So help me out on this one here. Flip and Cody.
No help for you.
Oh, come on. Flip and Cody are at the bar. What is this checklist? What's Cody checking the boxes for? Is it?
I didn't know what that was.
They're looking to replace Marty on being the elite when they all leave him behind.
Oh, okay.
That's how I took it.
That makes sense.
But even Flip's still there for 2 years.
I don't think Flip's going to be around anymore either.
Well, the show is also starring Flip, so they just cut that out. Also starring Flip part out, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so there's a few things checked, and then all of a sudden this dude. Who was the dude? He looked familiar.
I didn't recognize him. I'm sure I was supposed to, but I didn't recognize him.
I recognize him from somewhere. I don't know if it's I think it's MLW. He's obviously a British wrestler. And
did you know who he was, Darryl?
I didn't recognize him at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But he used.
I think JB's just making it up to sound cool.
No. Honestly, he does look familiar. I will say that.
I swear.
I agree with that. I just don't know who he is.
I swear it's MLW. That's where I've seen him. And God, I should know who that is. But yeah, it was MLW where I've seen him. So.
You don't because you fail.
But then he called them some name, I forget, and that apparently checked one of the boxes off, and so maybe he's hired. I don't know.
You're fired.
Young Bucks talking about their travel update. 20 hours in the air, typical day in the life of the Young Bucks, huh?
Just another day in the life.
Yeah, at least they get to fly business class though, with phone chargers and stuff.
They get the cool shit.
I thought it was hilarious when what was Nick was calling the town in Japan like I wait or something like that. Kenny corrects him. How about that being the elite jacket or button-up shirt that Kenny had on?
I like that.
It was very nice.
I think sweet. Got the being the elite logo with a bunch of.
I have all the moments on there.
Kenny's always styling.
A bunch of screen captures. Who's the Japanese dude that always cusses those guys out?
Yujiro Takahashi.
Takahashi, yeah, he was cussing them out some more.
The Tokyo Pimp.
I think he was mad that he didn't even get invited to Marty's party this time. I don't know. He was
just
telling
fuck those guys.
He said he was mad he didn't get invited.
Yeah, he just said fuck you all. And then he came back and said fuck you too to Paige because Paige thought he was cool, but nope, guess not. We get back into the waiting room. We see a bandage on the arm of Scorpio, and a bandage on a pissed off Frankie Kazarian throwing the hat. Why did they have to drain it out of my skull?
That's the funniest shit. That was the funniest part of the whole episode to me.
My God, Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega eating elite apples. Can you buy those at Pro Wrestling Tees now too?
Maybe.
And then they were making fun of Nick for not knowing a word of Japanese, and then they got into some dumbass calling contest. Dumbass. We're back at the hospital, and the doctor comes out and says that. Actually, the doctor comes out and brings CD, who looks a little out of it, so to speak. He's got a lot of bandages on, and he's not wearing pants. Jeez. But now finally, CD is back to being SCU, isn't he?
He's okay.
He's okay.
Everything will be okay.
And oh no, he's bending over to pick up his monster.
Show his ass. I laughed. I couldn't help it.
That was some great comedy. Hangman Page is rummaging through a hotel room that Kenny Omega says is his, but then the Bucks come in and say it's theirs, and so everybody's sleeping together, huh? Obviously.
Does anybody know who's sleeping with who?
Page is just trying to get some answers, and He's got his H checklist, and he's checking it twice, and was
He's
looking
gonna find out who's naughty or nice.
exactly. And he was looking for the Young Bucks' letter from H, but there wasn't one to be around. And all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door, and oh look, a letter from H. Talking about Final Battle. What about Final Battle?
Stay tuned, kiddies.
Dun dun dun. And then the show ends with Marty saying, "Why are you all in my fucking room?" Oh, Marty. I can't wait for the January 1st party, you know.
Well, you're not invited.
Well, neither are you, so fuck you.
I got invited. I don't
You
know what the
did
fuck
not.
you're talking about. I did too.
Shit.
Shit, I'm bringing sodas. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
He invited me at Best in the World, and we had our picture taken.
Yep.
I was the first person invited.
Yeah, he said the cameraman's invited too. So I was like, all right, I'll bring drinks.
So it's just that's
Jobbers.
We're awesome like that. It's not our fault.
I did not watch 205 Live this week. Did I miss much? Was the tornado? I bet the tornado match is probably pretty good with.
I feel like I saw it, but I don't remember it. Like I told you, this is the bad thing about us recording on a Tuesday, and we're supposed to be talking about shit we saw last Wednesday.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, man. I don't remember.
Main event was a tornado tag match with the Lucha House Party against Mike Kanellis and TJP, and the Lucha House Party won, even though they're annoying everybody now. Noam Dar is going to face Buddy Murphy next week. Cedric Alexander will take on Tony Nese. NXT this week kicks off with the Bro, Matt Riddle.
Bro.
I was telling these guys on Twitter, I can't wait for the flip flop entrance to be in 2K, and then I'll give it to the Big Show.
Oh God.
Matt Riddle taking
What
on.
is wrong with you?
That's what
You
you
know he's
do
a little
with the.
touched.
That's what you do with the WWE entrances. You get the weird ones and put them on people you wouldn't expect to see.
And I don't argue that, but Big Show. Like of all the people you could choose to give that entrance to, you're gonna give it to the Big Show.
Yep.
You're a weird dude, JB. You're a weird dude.
You're welcome. Matt Riddle, the Super King of Bros, taking on a debuting Punishment Martinez, and hey, people know who he is, so that's good to know that the Full Sail crowd knew who this gentleman was, former television champion with ROH. Not a exactly long match, but we did get to see some of the work that Punishment Martinez can do here. What did you think of the debut, Matt?
It was there. I think a lot of people online made too big a deal out of it than it really needs to be.
Big deal.
Need I remind that he lost in 3 minutes?
Oh.
Like, need I remind everybody that Kyle O'Reilly lost his first match on NXT, Bobby Fish lost his first match on NXT, Dijak lost his first match on NXT, and now they're repackaging him and giving him video vignettes, bringing and for him to come back. Leo Rush lost his first match, and they're like, it doesn't mean, everything that everybody's like all flipping out about.
Yeah,
like the end of the fucking world.
And Leo Rush got a match on Raw this week, so I think he's doing okay.
He came to collect.
Yeah, don't flip out.
Flip, go, we're done.
As Riddle was celebrating up the ramp after he put Martinez in the Bro Mission, and the crowd starts to go a little nuts, and I think you might put two and two together. Yep, there's Cassius Ohno, pissed off at getting jobbed in 6 seconds at TakeOver, clocking him with a rolling elbow, and we'll see that match again down the line. Ricochet getting interviewed by the reporters, and he says it feels great to be the highlight reel of NXT, but he did not come here to be the highlight reel. He came to NXT to win, and that's why I've got this title, and he's going to defend it next week. And, for those that didn't read the spoilers, it'll be a good one. Just trust us. Video package for Heavy Machinery, who I believe they're going to probably groom to face Undisputed Era at TakeOver Phoenix. Steaks and weights.
The hell was that?
I don't know what that was. Was that your Dozovich invitation?
That was my grunting because who it should be, but due to injuries.
Who should it be?
Should be The War Raiders, of course.
Yeah, they're a little banged up.
Like I don't know if that injury is real or if it's just a storyline reason to have them off TV for a bit.
Why though? They're the best tag team in NXT. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I just don't think they're ready to take the titles off the air yet. And I think when they are ready to take the titles off the air, it'll be the War Raiders that do it. I think they're
New York.
I think they're stretching it out. I think the storyline. I think this storyline is the injuries are just that storyline. Just like when they don't have room to put EC3 on a takeover, they injure him 3 weeks before.
Yep.
You know, it's just it's storyline purposes. You know, to make things make sense as to why, you know, certain people aren't being used. I think they're not ready to take the shit off the air yet. And I think the era will face the Raiders. Probably, you're right, probably in New York, and that's probably when the titles will change. Because I wouldn't be surprised, if God help them if they do. I would not be surprised to see the Undisputed Era get called up after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hopefully they go to SmackDown.
I doubt it.
Granted, though, that didn't do anything good for sanity, but these guys are kind of higher, a little higher caliber, though.
I doubt it because of the caliber and the talent that they have.
Yeah, Vince will want him. Darryl, we've already talked about this on the show before, but you think Lars is going to Raw?
Oh, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
He's big. He's 300 pounds, and he can lift up a fucking truck. Like,
and Vince can oil himself up when he stares down.
Pretty
Braun.
much, and just be ambidextrous and jerk himself off and gorilla.
William Regal
Sounds great.
Thanks, Vince. Oh, by the way, that they showed I think it was a tweet of William Regal's earlier in SmackDown, and it's so funny because like his profile picture on Twitter is him and Daniel Bryan. Did you notice that last week on NXT?
No, I didn't.
They showed a tweet of something. It's like him posing with Daniel Bryan. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on there, but
if my memory serves me correctly, he was, besides HBK, he was Daniel Bryan's like inspiration.
Yep, other mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, other mentor. So like,
that's why Bryan wears the colors he wears, or the colors he used to wear.
Yeah,
anyway.
the burgundy is a tribute to William Regal.
Oh, cool! I didn't know.
Yeah, because Shawn trained him, but when he came to WWE, William Regal was his mentor.
Gotcha. William Regal announces that it'll be a fatal four-way match in 3 weeks on NXT to determine the number one contender for the women's title, and one that is already qualified through a live event is Bianca Belair. So expect the other matches to unfold over the next 2 weeks, with the title match coming up, the fatal four-way coming up in 3 weeks, and then we'll know who takes on Shayna Baszler at TakeOver Phoenix. Next match of the evening, the newly minted team of Raul Mendoza from the Cruiserweight Classic and Humberto Carrillo taking on the team of Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake, the Forgotten Sons, Jackson Ryder alongside with them. Obviously, they're trying to get the Forgotten Sons over right now, so they get the win. Though,
no, brother, I think this entire match could have been forgotten.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the group. I was excited to see what they could bring, but I'm not feeling it right now. You?
Yeah, me neither. There's nothing there right now. It could be there eventually, but there's nothing there right now.
I just think with that type of particular stable, you know, it's too many stables and too many tag teams in NXT. They just are the odd man out.
Yeah, and plus they're heels, so.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, though.
There's only room for one dominant heel faction in NXT right now.
Absolutely, right.
That's the era, baby.
Well, you have two, but who gives a shit about the Mighty?
And I don't consider them a faction, though.
No, that's just two Aussies.
Well, I'm saying anything outside of a singles competitor.
Gotcha.
That Carrillo's pretty impressive, though. That dude, as JR would say, quicker than a hiccup. I'm pretty impressed with him in the ring. But, you know, as for the Forgotten Sons, you know.
Forget about them.
I've already forgotten about them.
Who were we talking about?
I forgot.
Okay. The beautiful Kathy Kelly interviewing Velveteen Dream, but he says, stop, wait, and snaps his fingers as the better lighting appears, and Kathy asks what's next for him, and Dream says that people are still talking about the Dream. The internet's talking about him. The locker room's talking about him. Dream says that people have been asking Triple H about him, and the Dream sees that he wins. He says Dream over. Dream says he's now leaving Kathy next. So there you go. Who would you like to see him feud with next, guys?
Matt, you go ahead.
I'm not sure what their plan for him is right now.
Any heels?
I mean, they could easily circle him. They could easily circle him back around to Ciampa.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. I just think that they kind of messed him up a little bit by not winning at having a losing record at takeovers.
Yeah.
So it's like,
how about a feud with Gargano?
I just think you need to put the title on that dude. Like, he's the hottest thing in NXT, in my opinion.
Dream is, yeah.
Oh, it's hard. It like they could have put the North American title on him, but it's really hard to take that title off of Ricochet right now.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely
and you could actually hurt Ricochet's momentum by pairing him up with the Dream again.
I just think
Dream's so over right now. You don't want to hurt Ricochet's
like what I could see.
Face this.
What I could see now is they're building up Dijakovic to probably take the title from Ricochet, and then
they're not. Shut up.
You never know. You never
Shut
know.
up. Oh my God.
I honestly think, in my opinion, Takeover Phoenix is going to be what Alistair and Ciampa, correct?
Yes, Alistair Ciampa.
So you already know what's going to happen after that. Alistair's not taking the title.
No, I think Alistair's probably getting the call up. He'll probably make his debut at the Rumble.
Right. So with that being said, for me, I'm thinking that it's going to be, like you said earlier, Matt, a recycle around, and Dream would take it off of Ciampa and New York. That's what I hope to happen. That's what would be smart to happen, but you never know.
Who would you have take the title from Ricochet? Would you have someone from the era do it, or
no? I would do EC3.
You gotta turn him heel though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
they've been kind of running him face at the moment.
What if you turn Keith Lee heel?
No. Dude, maybe EC3 takes the title from Ciampa.
Do you think EC3 needs to turn heel?
I think he does.
He's a good heel.
Really
if they don't turn him heel, he might take the title from Ciampa. He's patiently waited in line. And at the same token, let's not count out Matt Riddle.
Yeah, he's been on
fire. I think it's too early.
Sometime early in 2019.
I just think it's too early.
They've strapped a rocket up his ass, though.
I just honestly think it's too early for him.
Dude, Roode came in Brooklyn and won the title of Nakamura 4 months later.
Riddle had one match before he had his takeover debut. One match. They're putting a rocket up his ass.
I would not be surprised to see gold on Riddle by the time the takeover in New York is done. Be it the North American or the World Championship, I would not be surprised to see that. And they could take the title off of Ricochet by doing a multi-man ladder match, or some shit like that. And that way Riddle isn't hurt by taking the title from Ricochet. They want to do it that way.
The only other person I can see taking it off of Ricochet is Gargano. That's the only other person I can see doing it at this juncture.
Do you think Gargano and Ciampa become
I'm so
buddy?
worried about how many people are lined up for the main roster.
Yeah, and that's my primary concern, because you want to keep stocking NXT right now, but then
NXT is loaded though. Right
they're
now.
Loaded. I mean, you have stuff where you have between Keith Lee and Riddle and Punishment. You have so many already just sitting there waiting, to
even more coming in first of the year.
Absolutely. So I'm just like, I'm looking forward to Strickland.
Now I said on the show last week. Give me Strickland and Ricochet, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the women's division is building back up. You can't really, outside of Shayna, I don't think you can take anything. You need to keep the majority of those women in NXT for a little while now.
The men are loaded, though.
But the men are loaded, yeah.
The tag team division is kind of skimp, in my opinion. I don't think it's heavy.
And there just doesn't. There's just not a credible competitor to the glorious the glory that is the Undisputed Era. TM61, when they were baby faces, they had that push and were close. But as a heels, they're heels, so they're not going to challenge the Undisputed Era, like
we said earlier, I think the War Raiders is really the only choice to take those titles off of them at this point.
That's the clear plan, and then bring the Revival back down because Vince is using them like shit, getting jobbed to the Lucha House Party all the goddamn time.
Look, if NXT gets a deal on FS1, maybe none of these guys have to move up.
True.
And that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe there's a plan in play that none of us know about right now, and maybe this is truly gonna become what Triple H has wanted all along, and it's a third brand and not a developmental, type feeding system up to the main roster where people can actually come back and forth from Raw and SmackDown to NXT and vice versa.
Yeah, and that means a bigger payday if you're on cable TV.
What if this happened? And just hear me out. What if NXT becomes that third brand? They get that deal on FS1. They retain Undisputed Era. They retain the Alistairs. They retain some of that talent that we know would get, desecrated on the main roster.
Plus, bring back some of those that are being misused on the main roster.
Absolutely.
Your Tyler Breezes, your Sanity, even. I mean, they've barely.
So what happens? So what do you think Vince thinks if Raw has shitty ratings, SmackDown has subpar ratings, but NXT has the highest ratings every week? How do you think he'll feel?
That would be fucking hilarious. He would probably have a bitch fit right in his office.
And I would love it.
Triple H should have a bet with Vince.
I wish we could be a fly on our wall for that.
Triple H has to play a bet with Vince. The moment NXT outrates Raw and SmackDown in the ratings, he has to step down and he takes over. Do you move? I mean, we finally got a secondary title for the men. With the men and women's titles plus the tag titles, if they move to FS1, do you make it 90 minutes? Do you make it 2 hours?
I go 2 hours.
2 hours is a sweet spot. That's why SmackDown feels so good, is because they don't have time to fuck around like Raw.
Right, it's not too much, it's not too little. It still incorporates a lot of the talent that you don't see every week on NXT.
Plus, you'd get to see a lot, maybe like even those that are rarely on TV, but they're that are busting their butt at all the live events. Some of those people that are up and coming. It'd be kind of cool to see as well. But yeah, like Lacey Evans, we haven't hardly seen much of her at all, though she seems to be poised to be one of the top women going forward. We've barely seen her. There hasn't been time for her because of what's been going on in the women's division. And
if your name's not Kyrie or Shayna, you're not worth a damn at this moment.
And Matt just said it before, you had to take EC3 off TV for a month. The War Raiders might be kayfabing it, so, third match of the evening, Dakota Kai gets her third shot at Shayna Baszler, and probably the most competitive of all the matches that these two have had. And I thought it was actually a pretty good match with Kai and Baszler. Matt, did you agree?
Meh.
Meh.
I'm not a Dakota Kai fan.
After the Kira Fuda clutch and Shayna Baszler getting the win, the three of the four horsewomen gang up on Dakota Kai when Io Shirai makes the save. They then showed a package for Dominik Dijakovic. It's a lot of syllables for Vince, so he'll just call him.
I think he's an NXT lifer because that name ain't going up to the main roster.
Vince will call him Dom.
They'll call him Double D or some shit.
Double D.
I can't pronounce this shit.
Yeah, if this was 1999, you're Double D. that means big tits. It was announced that the grudge match between Bobby Fish and EC3 will take place next week. I bet that's going to be a fun one to watch. Ricochet defends his North American Championship. Kind of an open challenge, I guess. And like I said, stay tuned to NXT today as you listen to this show, because the NXT fans are gonna that don't listen to that don't read the spoilers. You're gonna. I'm just gonna tell you. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised with who takes on Ricochet. NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa comes out and cuts a good promo, and still that everybody.
Look, I gotta bring this up.
Yeah.
What you guys are talking about, the promo. Am I the only one on the planet that thinks you can close your eyes and hear Shawn Michaels when Tommaso Ciampa talks?
Oh, now I gotta do it. Now I gotta do it because I never thought
the entire time he was cutting the promo on Wednesday, I'm like, holy shit, he sounds like Shawn Michaels.
Absolutely.
Do you cadence or voice?
Both.
Well,
both.
You think Sean's probably working with him then?
I think Sean's working with him a lot because I never noticed it before until this last Wednesday night.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna have to close my eyes and listen again.
Yeah,
I'll do that after the show. He was pointing to people in the crowd, including the old lady that's just hilarious. She stood up and pointed right back at him. That's my feud of the year is that old lady and Tommaso Ciampa.
Why you're a jobber.
Shut up. So he says everybody is refusing to accept him as the NXT champion, but then stares right at Mauro Ranallo and says, "Mamma mia, here I am." And of course, he's the sports entertainer of the year, is what he says, and this is the greatest title reign in NXT history, and children will grow up and study his work. Then Aleister Black's music plays, and he mentioned how he absolved Gargano of his sins that you created, Mr. Puppet Master. He challenges him to the title. But then here comes Gargano. Gargano's saying, wait a minute. This ain't
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. This ain't over till I say it's over. And Ciampa goes, Ciampa with the line of the night. I love it when you leave Johnny Wrestling in the back and come out as Johnny Badass. And we got a Johnny Badass chant. Hey, it's better than Johnny. What was that? Johnny
Failure.
Johnny Failure. Yeah. Ciampa, pulling those strings like a puppet master. He goes, "You guys need to settle this inside a steel cage." And sounds like that's what's going to happen. Does not say when. A couple weeks probably. Do you know?
It was on that set of taping, so it won't be too far off.
Monday Night Raw this week. Yeah, gotta say, low bar, but it's been the best Raw of this month.
In a while.
Matt actually watched it.
He watched last week too, since he's given up on the
Yeah,
NFL.
because I'm done with the NFL.
Oh shit!
I'm totally done.
What was with the DJ burning it down so much in the open there?
I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought the burn it down originally was kind of weird. Now I'm liking it, and obviously it's over. And I was like, wow, are they going to overkill this thing? But then when he came out later for the TLC match, they didn't do it. So I don't know what the hell happened there. But how about Seth Rollins, as I said in the open, basically saying what us real fans have been saying about Monday Night Raw for a long time now. How obviously he tried to, he's pushing the blame as it's Corbin being a shitty GM, but we all know it's
Vince being a shitty owner.
Yeah. How great was that promo by Rollins?
It was like the fan talking. It couldn't have been a bad thing.
It's kind of like that was like the first time that's happened since like maybe CM Punk, the fan talking. Yeah, it was so funny. It was like he was bagging the Lucha House rules. He didn't even know what they were. He was wanting Corbin to explain what
they're garbage.
Yeah,
just like the Lucha House Party.
Yeah, we were saying that on the show last week, Darryl. That I'm finally getting annoyed by the Lucha House Party. So
I've been over it.
They're probably my least favorite thing about WWE in general right now. Anytime they come out, I don't want to watch.
I have no comment on that. Not at all.
Yeah, he
it's
talks
not
about
even worth my breath.
It talks about the Revival should be competing for tag team titles, which is facts.
I love that line right there.
Then he rips Brock Lesnar.
Which makes it feel like a shoot because they're a heel tag team and he's a baby face.
Yeah, good point.
So it kind of blends the worlds there.
Well,
hello, fourth wall.
Serious stuff.
Well, it confused the shit out of me because if you realize, like, Baron Corbin made the match with the Revival and the Lucha House Party, making it seem like
after week. Yeah,
making it seem like the Revival was the face team and the Lucha House Party was, I don't know what they were, but it just made it seem like the Revival were more the face team. That's the interpretation I took from it.
I mean,
to me, Lucha House Party are heels.
Yeah, because that
same
stipulation's
here.
a heel.
I know they are not being portrayed as such, but the way they do all this Lucha House Party role bullshit, to me, it's a heel move.
Yep. Corbin, Rollins also bagged on Lesnar, saying it's been 16 years since Lesnar competed on Raw. And what was that, Matt? What's his name again, please?
Part-time bitch.
Thank you.
Say it to his face.
Oh my God.
Corbin said, "Well, it's only going to get worse for you when I become permanent GM." Yeah, right. Good luck when you hear that. Rollins challenged Corbin to a match. Corbin's like, nah, no thanks. Rollins says, well, we have all the tools surrounding the ring. How about a TLC match? Because you say you're not going to have one on Sunday. And Corbin says no. And, well, Rollins called him a coward. And finally got him to do the match, TLC match, Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. Rollins was interviewed by Dasha Fuentes after that, and he says it may not have been a smart move to set up the match with Corbin, but he's sick of things, just like all of us on Mondays. We're sick of things, and he feels like he has to take a stand. Next up, it is a 3-on-2 handicap match. AOP, Drake Maverick taking on Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. This is going to be for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And, hey, look, they decided to put matching gear on Roode and Gable now. They actually look like a tag team. They even got
when they gave them the corresponding entrance, I said titles should change in hands.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Yep.
Because they got the Gable's got his own little rotating pedestal as well. Drake Maverick got all cocky and wanted to get the pinfall on Bobby Roode again, but Roode was a little smarter, hooked the arms of Maverick and got the pinfall after 8 minutes. Wow, new tag champions on Raw. Didn't think that was happening, huh?
No,
you just
not
said
at
you
all.
did.
I didn't.
Well,
I did. As soon as I saw the entrance, I thought the titles were changing.
I would say at the top of the first hour, you weren't expecting that to happen. Let's just say that. But when they give them matching gear and entrances, you kind of.
Well, I didn't expect the match to happen when I turned on the show either.
And Natalya and Ruby Riott talked back and forth because Ruby's mean and whatever. I don't know. I don't know about this one, Matt.
Not a fan.
Maybe this is the kickoff show match, the tables match between Natalya and Ruby Riott.
I'm not interested one bit.
Drew McIntyre made his entrance and Charlie Caruso interviewing him, and McIntyre says nobody stays undefeated forever, not Andre the Giant, not The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That always gets some good boos. And not even Drew McIntyre. But that might make him more dangerous, just ask Finn Balor. But, oh, wait, Finn ain't there. They'll finish him off at TLC, but when all the talks, when he talks, you will listen. He's making Raw a better place for everybody. And Ziggler comes out, so Ziggler and McIntyre have a rematch that went about 9 minutes. Pretty decent little match with those guys. Drew McIntyre gets his win back after Ziggler pulled off the minor, probably more than a minor upset last week. But and then after the match, McIntyre beats down Ziggler some more and hits a Claymore that bounces Ziggler's head off of the LED board on the ring there. I think McIntyre, man. I think that's one guy they're doing that they're building right, and you know, he's been killer on the mic the last month and a half or so. I think I wouldn't mind seeing him take the title from Lesnar if it wasn't going to be Seth Rollins in the cards, which it sounds like that's going to be the deal from what we've been talking about. But yeah, Drew's been doing a hell of a job. Alicia Fox took on Bayley, a little thing there to set up Mixed Match Challenge. It went all of 4 minutes with Bayley winning. Apollo Crews came out to even up the odds because is he Bayley's partner now? I can't even keep that shit straight.
Gotta put him somewhere.
Everybody's getting hurt. I can't remember who's getting hurt now. Charlie Caruso interviewing Dean Ambrose, and she called him the lunatic fringe, and he said to not call him that again. And then Corey Graves called him that on SmackDown tonight. Corey didn't get the memo, apparently. Then they showed a little video package. Charlie asked how would Roman react, and Roman, who cares? Who cares? Elias is in the ring, doing what Elias does, play a little song, talk shit about Bobby Lashley. He also said that he's not for hitting children, but there was a nice exception with when he popped Leo Rush last week. We were talking about that last week, Darryl. That was a pretty cool effect when Leo got popped. His glasses like shot straight out.
Yes.
So Elias took on Leo Rush, so Leo Rush can kind of show you what he can do against a bigger guy, which was again a lot of cool shit. But in the end, Bobby Lashley took advantage of Baron Corbin's basically his power. Because Heath Slater was the referee for this one. He intimidated Slater into not calling for the DQ because, Heath's got kids, man, so he can't lose his job. So Rush grabbed the guitar. Lashley took it from him and hit Elias in the back, and then Rush covered him for the 1-2-3. So, hey, Leo Rush got a win on Raw.
I'm really appreciative of that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Hey, what were you saying, Matt?
I said, why the hell not?
Why the hell not? He's doing a hell of a job, too, isn't he?
Yeah,
man.
Good to see. Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax with a face-to-face that, I don't know. Jax, just her promo ability is about as good as her pulling a punch.
I'd rather watch a banana being peeled.
There was going to be a face-to-face or an open forum or whatever with Alexa Bliss, but that Alexa Bliss looking fine, by the way. That did not happen as Tamina and Nia were looking to gang up on Ronda when Ember Moon evened up the odds, and that led to Ember Moon against Tamina in a 5-minute match. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Because Tamina, yeah. Moon, though, she'll be a future champion, as I think Corey Graves or Michael Cole said. I definitely see her being a future champion down the road. Next up, Heath Slater enters the ring for the TLC match. What do you think about this Heath Slater thing? At least it gets him on TV, right?
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Is this going to lead to Slater not doing what Corbin's telling him to? He gets fired, goes back to SmackDown to try to win a job back, and gets SmackDown tag titles again?
No.
I think you've overthought this more than they have.
No, I was just repeating the exact same thing that got him his job back before when he teamed up with Rhino. I wouldn't mind seeing Rhino go back down to NXT and kind of have some good matches, put some of the younger talent over. I wouldn't mind, like, because he did that before tagging with Slater, right? That was right before that tag team, right?
Yeah, Rhino was down in NXT for a good bit. I don't think Rhino's really going anywhere. He was backstage at Raw on Monday.
Yeah, I know he's not going anywhere, but yeah,
we'll see. We'll see where this all goes.
I'll tell you what. Say what you will about Corbin as GM. Or
I will.
I thought the TLC match with him and Rollins was good. I thought it was a really entertaining.
It wasn't bad at all.
I thought it was.
That was fine.
I thought I thought both men worked their ass off and did a great job. Of course, Slater tried to help out Corbin, but that kind of backfired. Here's where once again logic in the WWE precedes us. The referee's only. They were talking about how the referee's only there to ensure that they grab the title and then call for the bell. Well, where was Heath Slater when Rollins grabbed the title? He was eating a super kick and on the ground. But
pretty much.
Oh well.
WWE logic. Great TLC match, so I enjoyed it. The end, Ambrose comes out, stares down Rollins to close the evening. But yeah, it was better than the week before and the week before that. That's about all I gotta say about Raw, right?
Well, anything's an improvement at this rate, so I'm just happy to see maybe they might be moving in a more positive direction going forward.
Well, we're coming up on WrestleMania season, so they better kick it into that gear. SmackDown Live, about an hour before SmackDown came onto the air, a very surprising announcement. 205 Live's Mustafa Ali was going to take on Daniel Bryan, and I immediately got excited. That's going to be I was surprised, but at the same time, I like how they're kind of finally commingling the 205 Live stars back into Raw and SmackDown. Kind of getting the people to know who they are and hopefully keep that title match on the main card and not the kickoff show like they finally did at Survivor Series. So I think it's cool that they did this. Obviously, I think Daniel Bryan probably has a lot of respect for Mustafa Ali and probably that and I think a lot of the 205 locker room had a lot of respect as they were all huddled up at Gorilla watching the match too, which was a pretty cool photo that Jack Gallagher posted on Twitter. What do you? We've already said our parts last week on the new Daniel Bryan. Darryl, what is your take on the new Daniel Bryan?
He's a complete dick like myself. I appreciate it.
Wow.
All of it.
So you can relate. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm going to heal Darryl right now and tell the world that he's not really a dick. So
not to you, Matt, but to the rest of the world.
He's breaking that. Matt's breaking that fourth wall down. Hi, Colt Cabana.
Breaking the kayfabe.
Darryl's a good friend of mine.
Hi, Colt.
I will always have his back.
I appreciate that, brother.
Daniel Bryan apologized to the sheep for comparing the WWE universe to them. But actually, they're more like parasites because they consume and they're fickle.
It's like JB, he's fickle.
Fickle parasites.
If they release a shirt that says fickle with an arrow pointing up at the person who's wearing it, I will buy one for JB.
Yay.
I will buy one just for myself, just to have.
Free shirt.
Have you seen the new Daniel Bryan shirt?
No, I haven't.
It's like it's a takeoff of the old shirt from like around WrestleMania 30, but it's like the square that had the word yes in it, and now it's just a square with like an angry looking picture of Bryan and says yes is dead.
Oh,
and on the back it says Daniel Bryan. So
I think I love Seth Rollins' new shirt right now.
Oh yeah, I love that one too.
Okay, I'm the only one that doesn't like the new Seth Rollins shirt. All right, that's fine.
I like simple shirts. Like, you remember when I was telling you guys about Becky Lynch's shirt? I like very simple shirts. Outside of wrestling, like, if people don't know what it is, they're going to say it's pretty cool.
I'm kind of wondering if I can get away with wearing it to work.
I did, as soon as I got it.
There you go. Daniel Bryan said that the old Daniel Bryan's dead, the Yes movement is dead, and just like any parasite, they've moved on to the next fickle field. and they all reside on the couch in the house that AJ Styles built. And then Mustafa Ali shows up, and Ali says he knows who he is, and Brian invited him to the ring. And Brian even said, "Hey, you are the heart of 205 Live. You're an incredible performer. I see a lot of myself in you." But we don't really need to have this match tonight, because these people won't care. They're too self-absorbed, xenophobic, too concerned with their own mindless consumption. These fickle people do not deserve this great match. And then Brian went on a fickle fest. Fickle! Ali asked, "What happened to you, man? What happened?" Said that Brian inspired him. All the guys at 205 Live looked up to him. About Brian being the underdog because he had heart. The old Daniel Bryan won a fight, and Ali wants to fight. The chance of fight came down from the WWE Universe. Brian asked Ali what kind of car he drives. He says, "I don't know what this has to do anything but an SUV." And Brian called him a small man and smacked him. Why do you need an SUV? He's got a family, wife, whatever. Yeah, Brian slapped him again, called him ignorant. And then Ali fought back with punches and knocked Brian out of the ring, went to commercial. And when we got back from commercial, we got ourselves Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali for 10 minutes. And, I thought it was a very solid. It was basically almost, that was the first half hour of SmackDown Live, and it featured Daniel Bryan and Mustafa Ali. Who would have thunk it, huh?
It was something else. It was a good start to SmackDown for sure. I will tell you this right now. We all know AJ Styles in the midst of contract negotiations with WWE. Vince better back up the fucking Brinks truck to AJ Styles' home in Gainesville, Georgia.
Yep.
Because if the All Elite Wrestling thing is a true full-fledged promotion, and the Bucks and Cody and Kenny and all them are going to be a part of this thing, what makes you think that they haven't already talked to AJ Styles, who they know their buddy's contract's coming up in a few months, and say, "Hey, look what the Khan family has for you over here.
Yeah,
less dates, more money, blah blah blah." If I'm WWE right now, I am paying AJ anything I can to keep him for another couple years.
You better give him whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can you imagine if AJ and Jericho head over there?
I hear Jericho's already a done deal.
Yeah, Jericho's already signed on. That's done.
So honestly, the only I hear AJ's deal's up in April, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Gallus and Anderson's deal is up in the fall.
Yeah, and look how much
they're up in September.
Look how much they're being used.
They could lose all three of those guys in 2019 to this new promotion if they're not careful.
You know who else's contract is up next year, right? Another beautiful tag team who should be promoted heavily on the main roster.
Fuck the Revival?
Fuck the Revival.
I did not know their deal was up that quickly.
Yes, they are. Did you see the tweet between Matt?
Oh, I saw the tweet between them, but I didn't think a whole lot of it.
It's coming.
You think first chance they have, they're out the door?
Why not?
Cody, are you okay? Cody, are you okay? Fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival.
What'd you think of the rap battle?
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first one, but at least the Usos had some great lines.
In terms of comedy, it's better than any of the comedy crap we've seen on Raw lately. So
easily, yeah.
Pretty much.
And if that's the barometer that we have to judge it by, then it was all right.
I prefer a rap battle over somebody pissing themselves any day.
Oh my god! And then pissing on a robe.
Amen to that.
Yeah. After the rap battle, the Bar tried for a cheap attack, but the Usos dodged it. which started a big old melee, and all leading up to the TLC match, or the triple threat match at TLC, I should say. It's not
should have been it should have been a TLC match.
Hey, how great would that have been?
Yeah, they dropped the ball there.
Miz
It's perfect.
Miz is in the ring with the World Cup trophy in his hands, and he knows it's Shane's week for custody. What? Oh my god.
This shit's so weird, man.
Yeah, he calls Shane out to he even got down to one knee to beg, and this led to Chip and Chad. One looked like a fat Kevin Hart. The Vegas boys.
No, he did not look like a fat Kevin Hart. He looked like Ezekiel Jackson got thrown in the dryer, and he shrunk and came back out. And here's what you call mini domination.
I can't breathe.
Go back and look at that dude. And as soon as he came out, I'm like, dude, that looks like mini Ezekiel Jackson, man.
They called him Ezekiel Jackson out the dryer.
Exactly what he looked like, man. That's exactly like they threw him in the dryer, and Ezekiel Jackson shrunk, and out came that dude.
Oh shit!
After Shane hit a very sloppy DDT, he's trying to do that rock.
Dude, that looked really bad.
He was trying to do that.
horrible.
He was trying to do that rock float over DDT.
Yeah.
He usually pulls that off, but not tonight.
I think it was more the other guy didn't know how to take it. And since the other guy didn't know how to take it, it
You
just
sit
became
there.
Total fuckery.
Yeah.
You just sit there and let Shane do all the work.
See, this is why these guys aren't signed.
Oh, damn, Vegas boys.
Vegas boys. That's
See that invoice thing in the back was a shoot because since they fucked up the match, they didn't get paid.
You ain't getting paid. Come at me with your
You made the boss's son look bad. You get nothing. Be happy with your 5 minutes of fame on my TV, mini Ezekiel Jackson.
Shane McMahon tapped out one of the jobbers with a triangle choke, and
What the fuck that one dude had the Bret Hart logo on his ass for?
I don't know.
He's my hero.
That was weird as shit, dude.
Paige had Jason Ayers, the referee in the ring, and from the match backstage, and asked, "Why the hell did you run out there for the match?" And he goes, "Well, Miz said that you sanctioned it." And then the Vegas boys showed up with invoices that they were going to get $5,000 each, and Paige said, "Fuck you."
To me, this whole segment made no sense because yes, Paige is the GM, but Shane's the commissioner, and Shane can overrule Paige. So if Shane didn't want this match to go on, he could have just said no. You know, so it like that whole afterwards segment of Paige whining about that, to me, like, while it was entertaining to watch her lose her shit, it didn't make any real logical sense.
Vince logic. Oh,
That's the best kind of logic.
It makes sense to kiddies, so why not? Regular logic, human being logic. It made no fucking sense of all, dumbass.
And so we got Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton added to the TLC. We have to have a chairs match. So let's.
I am not looking forward to this, by the way.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw enough Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in my lifetime the last time these two were both in the company together. Yeah. And the fact that they're paired up again, I'm not looking forward to this at all.
I don't like the outside of a ladder match. I don't like the table stipulation.
I like a tables match fine. The chairs match is what's retarded.
Yeah, and then let's not even talk about the stairs match.
Well, they only did that once.
Yeah, was it Big Show and Rowan or something like that?
I think Big Show and somebody. It was tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
Oh my!
Nobody gave a fuck.
Nope. Actually, I'd prefer a stairs match over a chairs match.
Yeah, dueling stairs are always fun to watch. Orton cutting a promo when all of a sudden the crowd's going wild. That's because there's Rey Mysterio, and he pops Orton with a chair to the back and a couple other shots. Hits a 619 as Orton bails.
Booyah!
The man is talking with Kayla Braxton, and she says she can't wait to remind the world just how much chaos can happen when the man comes around. Little Johnny Cash. that better close the show Sunday. That's all I got to say about that. Will it?
It better.
The way they promoted it, like when they ran down the shit on Raw, they said that last. So I think they are. Matt, you think they are?
There's nothing on the show I'm more interested in than that, so I'm hoping it closes the show.
Yeah. I mean,
we only hope.
Seth and Dean will be great, and AJ and Brian will be great, but this is women's TLC with the man. So,
tweet from Matt Jackson just hit the Twitter machine.
Okay.
But if there must be an end, let it be loud. Let it be bloody. Better to burn than to wither away in the dark.
Yeah, they do have a ladder war coming up on Friday.
And if you remember, the last ladder wars they had was fucking brutal.
How about this for an odd tag team pairing? Jeff Hardy and Rusev come together to take on Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. Yeah. Oh wait,
Dude, I was just happy to see Rusev get a win for a change.
Yeah. Oh, well, we got a dance break first before we start that match.
I'm already over the dance break shit.
Well, yeah, it's the WWE.
It's fine when they're on TV and they're in the middle of a segment and they want to do that, but just to come out and do it randomly like that, I'm over it. It's getting close to Lucha House Party territory for me.
Matt, it's typical WWE. Anything that's cool and we pop for, WWE is gonna overkill it.
If it gets a response, they're gonna overkill.
Yeah, so. As Matt said, oh my God, that was a sweet Machka kick by Rusev when Nakamura was going for the Kinshasa. I loved that spot at the end, and Rusev gets the win. Him and Jeff Hardy. That Machka kick to counter the Kinshasa. Woo! That was well done, boys. Miz, still kissing Shane's ass backstage, and wanted a handshake, but Shane just leaves. And just like Matt said on Twitter, where the fuck is this going? He didn't say that exactly, but that's what we're thinking. Where the fuck is this going?
It definitely portrayed Miz in a very weird face role, and it kind of left Shane looking like a dick.
Yeah, well, I think it's the catalyst of turning Shane heel. But God,
it could be the catalyst of turning Miz face.
Yeah, God, this Miz.
And it could be a double turn here.
Yeah,
like. Everybody thinks the Miz is just, being patronizing or whatever, just being a heel. Maybe he's being genuinely serious, and this all leads to him turning babyface. I don't know.
His heart's going to be broken, and they'll have a custody battle for the World Cup trophy. By the way, Lars Sullivan is lurking. So is Vince.
Will you just show the fuck up already?
Well, we haven't reached Emelina's standards yet, but
I don't think we see him till the Rumble.
I don't think you might see him this weekend.
Well, I thought they might debut him in the Braun and Corbin match, but it doesn't make any sense if Braun's going to win.
Yeah, I think Corbin's going to.
Because I can't imagine they're going to let this Corbin GM thing go on any longer.
No, it's going to be spoiler alert.
Braun needs to end this.
Spoiler alert for the predictions later, but Strowman's going to show up, surprise everybody's going to act surprised that Strowman shows up and he's going to beat Corbin in like a minute. He'll hit him with a chair. He'll put him through a table, and then maybe Strowman will do a 450 splash off a ladder. I don't know. But he'll use one.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. He'll use one of each of the toys, and then that'll be it. That's that's how I think it's gonna go down. Yeah. The last match of the evening, Asuka and Charlotte Flair.
Love this match.
This was great. They had a lot of time.
Dare I say I liked it better than their Mania match?
Yeah.
You can.
Okay, I liked it better than their Mania match.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Went about 15 minutes, but ended in DQ, just like the Rousey match when Flair hits Asuka with a kendo stick. Then all sorts of shit hit the fan. And boy, Charlotte took some kendos to the back, man. Woo! She took a few shots from not just the man, but then the Empress got involved, and that was a real fun, hot ending to what should be the main event of TLC. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
I enjoyed the ending.
Hot fire.
Lots of that one kendo stick probably did not survive the trip home. So, good SmackDown. I mean, that's par for the course, though. So,
It wasn't like amazing or like over the top great, but it was all right. It was, it's still far away better than anything Raw's put on lately. Except for you could argue last night was pretty good,
yeah,
comparably to what we've seen as of late too. So
good go home show though. A good go home show where a lot of times the go home shows suck. So. All right, 2 major shows coming up this weekend. First off, Friday, Final Battle. One of the major ROH pay-per-views. There's quite a bit of matches on the card. Let's break them down. First off, kicking off the show is going to be Kenny King against Eli Ism. I have no idea who Eli Ism is, so I don't know if this is a
jobber.
I haven't watched ROH in a while.
He's decent. He's nobody special.
Is he gonna beat Kenny King, or is he just there?
No. Hell no.
Okay, I'm just asking. This one's gonna be fun. The ROH debut of Zack Sabre Jr. and he's gonna take on Jonathan Gresham. This one could steal the show.
Yes.
Darryl, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go with. I think that Jonathan Gresham can beat him and will beat him.
Matt?
I think if Sabre's not around long term, the answer would be to put Gresham over. I don't know what type of deal Sabre's coming in on, but if he signed any type of lengthy deal with the Ring of Honor, he's going to go over.
Well, he is at the TV tapings the next day, so it's
but he's just there for the weekend, though. I mean, that could mean anything.
True.
Like going forward will be the true telling. If he has signed an actual Ring of Honor deal and he will be around for 2019, Sabre's going to win. If he's just there for a weekend and done, it's Gresham's match to win.
So who you picking?
He could. I don't know because I don't have all the information. I'm going to say he signed, and I will go with Sabre Jr. for now. But I am also saying that if he is not signed, that Gresham's winning this match.
And then would that
Gresham needs a big win.
Would that maybe propel Gresham into kind of the TV title picture or something like that?
I think it most certainly would.
Absolutely.
That'd be a really big, credible win for him.
Gee, do I even have to ask Darryl who's going to win this match?
I'm Matt Taven.
Hey, Matt Taven. Welcome to Lost in the Midcard. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm good, dude.
Cool.
Melvin.
Jobber.
It's amazing how Matt Taven sounds like Darryl.
Hey,
that's why he's such a big fan.
Why?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask Darryl. So who do you think is going to win, Matt?
This is tough because I don't really know how healthy Castle is.
Plus, Castle's kind of on the downswing off of his world title reign too. So I can see them putting Taven over here.
I'll go with Taven just to make Darryl happy, but
yeah.
I'm not confident in that pick.
If you see the look on my face.
I'm going Taven too, so let's make Darryl happy.
I'm proud of you guys. Thank you.
I'm using logic here. If you don't go to Wikipedia though, because it's got Matt Taven and Dalton Castle in a 4-corner survival match for the Women of Honor Championship. The internet can't always be right.
That's a match Taven's got in the bag. He could totally be a Women of Honor champion.
I don't know, man.
That division is so shit right now. Taven could beat all of them women.
Sumi Sakai probably lay him out though.
I don't think so. She's too old.
Tenille Dashwood would definitely lay him out.
Well, Dashwood's out hurt right now.
I know.
I'm not counting Dashwood.
All right, so Dashwood takes the title from him when she gets back. Okay.
You know what? I hate you both. You were just on the good list. I hope Santa brings you bullshit for Christmas.
We had to balance it out.
I said I think he's going to beat Castle. What more do you want from me? I also said that he could beat the entire Women of Honor division.
We had to balance it out.
I think that's pretty good praise there.
We had to balance it out after we picked your boy. Rights to a future Ring of Honor World Title match are on the line when Marty Scurll, who has the rights, takes on CD Christopher Daniels. Scurll ain't going anywhere, so I don't see him losing this one. Matt?
Well, this is the only storyline way for Daniels to stay with the company.
True.
Yeah.
So
he's got that SCU blood in there. So
and they have look. I'm just saying, Ring of Honor can be super fucking petty as shit right now. They know Skrull's gone the second his contract's up, and if they're losing the rest of the Elite, and they got Skrull left over for the foreseeable future, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to bury that poor guy until his deal's up. So you know what? As crazy as it fucking sounds, and I don't want to see it happen because I love the villain. I'm gonna say Christopher Daniels wins this match.
Okay, Darryl?
I say the same thing. I don't see him losing this match. Based off the promo I saw from him on last week's TV taping, it's not happening.
One of the hotter feuds in Ring of Honor going today, Flip Gordon, Bully Ray. I Quit match. Can Flip do it, Darryl?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's going to be a great moment when he has to say those two words, huh?
Yep. This has been a very long build. Bully's going to do the right thing and put Flip over.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. That's gonna be a moment when he has to say I quit. That's gonna be a moment, man. Well, okay. Which way is the Elite gonna fall here? Ring of Honor World Television Title. Jeff Cobb taking on Hangman Page. I think it's All Elite. I think Ring of Honor and All Elite are going to be buddy here, even though there's a TV deal probably waiting for Cody with WGN probably. I think they're going to play nice and be buddy. I think Hangman Page wins the title. Matt?
Look, I don't even need to go over these 4 matches with the Elite in them. I've already made my stance.
That they're going to all win.
If one wins, they all win. If one loses, they all lose. And that's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, because that goes to the well.
Like you can't tell me you can't roll out you can't tell me with 100% certainty that you can roll out the image of the Elite standing in the ring at the end of the show with them all holding the Ring of Honor gold, and that would make perfect sense as to why Marty Scurll doesn't have a ROH World Title shot anymore, because he's not going to freaking face Cody for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, look, stranger things have happened.
I think that's
and if I'm Joe Koff, like I'm on the 12th hour, I'm fucking calling Sinclair and I'm like, look, motherfuckers, you made the investment in this fucking company. And we're about to lose the greatest act we've had in the last decade. And we're about to lose them hard. We can't afford to lose these guys. You have the fucking money. Pay them and keep them. And that's what I'd be trying to do right now.
Yeah, and I predict that's going to happen. I'm going Hangman Page. Darryl, you feel the same way?
I'm going the same way, but based off of different reasons. Mm-hmm. Simply because the TV tapings, they're advertising and building it up as the Young Bucks and Cody's last showing on Ring of Honor TV. And the way my mind thinks, it's not going to be the last time. Like you said, Matt, the biggest act is so-called leaving Ring of Honor. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Why would you run a pay-per-view? You would arguably ROH's biggest pay-per-view of the year and Final Battle.
Yep. All the belts have Elite.
Why would you let common knowledge out that all these guys are up, yet all of these guys are in title matches on your show?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of makes your show look really fucking predictable. So you do it and you swerve everybody the other way, and they all win the titles.
Yep.
Like I said, it's a stretch, I know, but this is pro wrestling, and stranger things have happened.
We've seen it before. Money in the Bank, Cena, CM Punk.
Yep.
We've seen it before.
Yeah, we all knew Punk. We all knew Punk was done.
Absolutely.
He signed a new contract with WWE that afternoon.
We knew what it was.
Oh.
So that puts the the Ladder Wars match with the Bucks over the Briscoes and SCU.
Because SCU don't need the titles anymore. They got the new contracts.
Yep, they signed.
So even if they drop them at Final Battle, Koff already signed Kaz and Sky to new contracts, so they can't be terminated now. And if Daniels beats Skrull, he can't be terminated either because he has an upcoming world title shot, and Skrull wouldn't need the world title shot because Cody has the title. Mm-hmm. It all seems to make too much sense. I wonder if Joe Koff has two separate scripts right now for this pay-per-view. One, if they're able to sign these guys by Friday, and one, if they can't. I really wonder if that's the case.
Yeah, it might be. And so, of course, we got the four-corner survival match for the Women of Honor Championship. The champion, Sumi Sakai, takes on Madison Rayne, Karen Q, Kelly Klein. Matt, is this where Kelly Klein wins the title? Or do you put it on Madison Rayne?
Dude, I don't like any option in this match, to be perfectly honest with you. You know I'm not a Kelly Klein fan.
Yeah. Keep it warm for Tenille.
Yeah, honestly, I would just I keep it on who it is on now, so it means more when Tenille wins the title. I feel like Tenille's the answer in that division right now, and I don't like the other. I am so disappointed 1 year later after them starting this division, the state that it's in right now. Like I couldn't care less about this division. They've really dropped the ball. This division needs help, and if it's injuries, it's people leaving, it's bad decisions in the initial tournament back in April. Just there's nothing else I can say other than it's been a very disappointing year for the Women of Honor.
And of course, we're all on the Elite storyline, so we have Cody beating Jay Lethal for the World Championship to end the show. So it's gonna be an interesting one. And as Matt said, once you see one chip fall, you'll probably see how the rest of them are gonna go.
I can't wait.
And WWE TLC is this Sunday. 12 matches on the card. Holy cow. Well, who do you put winning the Mixed Match Challenge Finals between Mahalisha and the Fabulous Truth? Got to be the Fabulous Truth with them overkilling the dance break.
The dance break, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Chairs match, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Darryl. Who do you got going there?
I'm gonna go with Rey.
Matt?
I'll go with Orton.
I'm gonna go with Rey just because I don't think they're gonna have him lose his first feud back. Though Orton, they might be building him up to be the next heel competitor whenever a face takes the title. I don't know. But I don't see Rey losing his first feud. Cruiserweight Championship, which hopefully is on the main card again. Buddy Murphy is the champion taking on Cedric Alexander. Matt, who do you got there?
I thought Ali was going to win it last month.
Yeah.
It kind of seems pointless to put it back on Cedric. I'm going to say Murphy retains.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a lukewarm reign for Murphy right now, in my opinion. But, I keep going back to the same thing. I think Cedric turns heel eventually. Maybe this loss finally does it. But, they could always put it back on Cedric. And, there's a whole list of guys they could have challenged for it. But, yeah, I think they're going to keep it on Murphy here, too. And Cedric, I keep saying Cedric turns heel, but I think maybe this finally does it. Darryl?
I'm going with Buddy. I just think Mustafa gets the belt eventually, and I think he's going to get it from Buddy.
Tables match, Natalya, Ruby Riott. I think Natalya is going to put over the younger Riott here with Ruby winning. Darryl?
You think Ruby?
Yep.
No.
I'm going to Natalya.
I think Natalya, huh?
Yeah.
Natalya has to win this match.
She has to win.
Has to.
Based on what they're building it off her dad and everything, that would be just like not a happy ending.
Well, Vince ain't always about happy endings.
No. Natalya needs to win this match. You don't do the things that they've done about Neidhart the past few weeks and have her lose. She has to win.
Well, we'll see. Triple threat for the tag team championships over on SmackDown. The Bar, the New Day, the Usos. Darryl, how do you see that one going down?
My heart says the New Day, but I think the Usos win.
Matt?
I think the Bar retains.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bar is going to retain as well. New Day and Usos have been playing hot potato with that thing a lot lately, so I think the Bar is going to keep it. Ladder match with the guitar suspended above the ring.
Ugh.
First one that can it's better than being on a pole. First one to retrieve it, can use it as a weapon. Elias, Bobby Lashley. I don't know here because I have this feeling Vince is pushing Lashley, but I'm gonna go Elias. I'm just gonna go Elias here. I just have a blind faith that they're gonna push him in this one here. Darryl?
Same here. I think Elias is going to win. The way they've been beating the shit out of him between Leo and Lashley, I just think that it's his turn now. And it's a guitar on a pole match or whatever it is.
Matt?
If Elias doesn't win, his WWE career is in a lot of trouble. I'll tell you that right now. This is almost a must-win for him.
Are we all pretty much in agreement that McIntyre is going over Balor here?
Yep.
I wouldn't have been as sure until Balor came down with this sickness, but now that he's sick with whatever he's sick with, I think it's a lock that McIntyre wins. We might not even get this match. I mean, depending on how bad this illness is.
Yeah, and considering
because they sent him home off the road.
Considering there's 12 matches on the card already too, they have room to just bump it.
Yeah, there's a chance Drew just comes out and says he doesn't show up, and they count him out, and so they could do the same thing later. And it's and Barrett comes out I'm gonna get a count out win just like my buddy Drew did, and then at 8 or 9 bronze music hits,
which just leads right into that TLC match, which I think we're all in agreement. Braun Strowman's going to show up. Michael Cole's going to act surprised, and is
it really? Is it him?
Yeah.
Oh my God. EC-Dub!
Vintage Braun Strowman. Wait a minute, dude. He's hurt.
That's not vintage.
Right.
He's only been hurt once.
Wait a minute.
Are we all in agreement that Dean Ambrose has taken the title off of Seth, so Seth can then pursue it to finally take it off the part-time bitch? Or is Seth champion when he takes on part-time bitch? Matt?
I personally would do champion versus champion. I don't think Seth can afford a loss on the road to Brock Lesnar, especially if that's the plan that if that's what they're going for and that's what they're going to be doing. I feel any loss Seth suffers between now and WrestleMania would make him look less credible in the ring with Brock.
Yeah.
So I'd say they do title for title, a la Hogan Warrior.
Yeah.
And Seth goes over and they put the IC title up in a tournament following WrestleMania. I always love a good tournament.
I forgot all, you got to have him going undefeated all the way through to Mania. So I agree with that.
Because if he loses to Dean Ambrose, who got clobbered by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania a few years ago.
Yeah, good point.
Why are any of us supposed to believe that he's going to go in there and have a legit shot against Brock one-on-one? He's got to beat Dean. And Dean's got over on him legitimately every week since this turn's happened.
Yeah.
So Rollins needs to actually, stop showing his ass and actually get a win here.
Darryl?
I want to agree with you guys, but I don't think so. I think the build-up.
Going to come down and nut shot him?
I don't know how it's going to happen. I think Dean wins. And the reason why I say this is because Dean hasn't wrestled in so long, but then they're building his new character or his new persona up very, very well.
Bane?
Yeah, somewhat.
I am not a fan of the Dark Knight Rises Bane character.
I like the air horn, but
Ambrose.
I like
I
that. I like,
like
the
it on
air horn
Ambrose.
thing. Yeah, but I just think that the way they're building him up and him just not stepping up to Rollins or whatnot, it'll be a waste of weeks and weeks of build up if he doesn't win.
At the same token,
Waste of a build-up. What else is new?
But
This
I
is
will say,
what
but I
we're
will say
talking
that I
about.
would say this. I will not be surprised if it's not a clean finish.
Oh, dude,
And-
if he wins, I promise you it will not be clean.
I'll tell you
Right,
what, though,
but
if there's a superstar shakeup after Mania, Ambrose is probably going to SmackDown to separate those two, and he'll probably be going for the WWE title again.
What do you think about Lars Sullivan coming in as Dean Ambrose's muscle?
That'd be interesting.
And Lars Sullivan is the reason that Seth Rollins loses this match.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea.
I'm not opposed to it.
That would protect Seth. Seth could get a win against a big dude like Lars on the road to WrestleMania
And then Lars gets
in preparation for his match against Brock.
and then just like Diesel and Shawn, Lars gets the rub when he turns on Dean
Yeah, they could do that.
down the road. Yeah, I like that idea. I think we're all in agreement that Ronda Rousey's going to beat Nia Jax's ass.
Damn well better. That match better be like 30 seconds. Squash that fat bitch.
Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. What do you got there, Matt?
You didn't ask Darryl if he thought.
Oh well, Darryl, do you agree with us that Nia Jax's ass is getting beat?
Does a fat kid love cake?
It does. All right.
Scale
WWE Championship.
breaker love cake.
A face breaker love cake.
No, scale breaker.
Oh, ooh, wow, that's rough.
Wow.
Man. At Raw F Showtime. Direct your comments to at Raw F Showtime for that one.
Like it or get blocked, folks. I don't care.
Yeah, his block list is long and mighty.
Wrong.
The WWE Championship match: AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Matt. Fickle.
You think Bryan would retain?
Or are they buttering AJ up?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. This one's rough. This is also another one I could see Lars coming in as like Daniel Bryan's lackey.
Yeah, it's like who would you? I guess it's weird, but at the same time, it kind of feels like this is a feud that would carry over to the Rumble, and AJ wins the title and they fight again at the Rumble. But I don't know. But at the same time, if you're doing the Miz, I'm almost thinking that Miz Bryan thing's off the table for Mania. Don't you think? It just
it's so off.
That's done. That's a done deal.
It doesn't, which is sad, but
that's what happens when you have a fossil trying to book wrestling in 2018.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
But at least the heel turn for Bryan's been successful, and he's been doing a damn good job at it.
Man, that was probably because he told Road Dogg I wanted to be a heel now.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh, he's getting punished for not going to Saudi Arabia. Oh, yeah, he's getting punished by getting the title put on him. Okay.
That's a smart analogy.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Fucking Mark. So, Matt, which way? Covered all the bases.
If Bryan wins, if Bryan wins, it ain't gonna be clean.
No, it's gonna be a kick to the ding ding.
Kicking the balls. I'm gonna say AJ Styles by disqualification.
I'm gonna say Daniel Bryan wins by ref not seeing him kick him in the ding ding, and then that sets up the Royal Rumble match. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Why would Bryan win? Why set up a rematch if Bryan wins?
Because Bryan
Styles needs to win in order to set up a rematch. This is his obligated rematch clause here.
Bryan cheats and Paige grants him a rematch because he cheated and makes it no DQ at the Rumble.
I can see that.
I'm saying AJ by DQ or count. Title will not change hands, but I think AJ is going to win.
Yeah, I just think I think Bryan wins, but then because he cheats, AJ gets his title rematch at the Rumble.
Whew. Just because Vince is a dick and wants to butter AJ up, I'm gonna say AJ wins clean.
Oh, he gets the title back.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He gets the title back, but then that obligates Daniel Bryan to have a rematch at the Rumble. There you go. That's how you extend the feud.
The main event of the evening, triple threat, first ever TLC match for the women for the SmackDown title. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, the Man, the Queen, the Empress. I almost had it set in my mind last week that it was going to be Asuka taking the title, but then WWE 101, Asuka standing tall at the end of the night.
She was standing really tall tonight.
But yeah, there's got to be some way somehow that they get Lynch and Rousey at Mania to close the show. Which we thought originally was Lynch drops the title and wins the Rumble. The only thing is my initial thought when this all went down with Lynch missing Survivor Series, my thought was she demands a trade to SmackDown somewhere down the line. So I think Becky, she's so fucking hot right now that I think Becky's gonna keep the title just based on the booking 101 from SmackDown tonight. I think Becky's going to keep the title. She's going to somehow lose it somewhere down the line and then either demand a trade to SmackDown. But I think just the fact that she's been such a hot commodity right now, I don't think Vince wants to take the title off of her. So I think Becky's going to come out as champion. And somehow, some way, we're going to get Lynch and Rousey to main event WrestleMania. But it's not going to be through the Rumble now. Darryl?
I say Becky retains. But I have another outcome by her retaining. I think she keeps the title, but the fact that Rousey is the champion on Raw and she's the champion on SmackDown.
Unified?
No, I think, like you said, at Mania, something occurs. I think something occurs, whereas by those two, I think Charlotte wins the Rumble. I honestly think Charlotte wins the Rumble. And I think that some way, shape, or form, they try to bring that 4 horsewomen, because Shayna's due up soon, very soon.
Yeah.
And the way that they've been exchanging back and forth on Twitter with Marina and Jessamy and Shayna, I just think it's coming soon. Very soon. So that's the only reason I think Becky retains.
Well, you got to have Shayna drop the NXT title first off.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Look, and if you're looking at a multi-woman match, not only would have Becky have to drop the title on the road to WrestleMania, Ronda would have to drop it too.
Yeah, that's my point.
Everybody can't forget about the Royal Rumble too.
Right.
I'm gonna stick with my original pick, regardless of how SmackDown ended tonight, and I'm going to say that Asuka wins the title on Sunday.
It's the easiest way to get what we want, where Lynch wins the Rumble and challenges Rousey.
That makes sense.
And I think the smart thing to do would be to have Becky beat Ronda at Mania, and then when they do the shakeup afterwards, they move Ronda over to SmackDown, because apparently Fox wants Rousey on SmackDown, from what I hear.
Of course, yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
So you move Becky to Raw by default of winning the title at WrestleMania, and in the shakeup you move Rousey to SmackDown.
And I mean, Asuka's well past needing a push again, so it makes sense all around to have Asuka win it. That's why I had her pegged last week.
Well, you make her look like a credible choice tonight on SmackDown, and then you pull the trigger on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because up until a week or two ago, no one thought she had a chance at hell being in a title picture this month. So maybe she needed that beatdown that she did tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. And again, it's the easiest way to get what we all want at Mania, and it's the easiest way.
Because the other option is fucking the scale breaker to beat freaking Ronda at TLC, and that'll make me want to throw up in my mouth. Then that would mean Ronda would have to win the Rumble to go over to SmackDown to face Becky at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I don't want to see that title on Nia Jax ever again.
Well, considering
why? She's not like most girls.
Well, why? Because
if you mean like in terms of other girls that can work, yes, she's not like most girls.
And there's that trip to Vince's doghouse that's going to be happening for what she did to Becky. So, and as Matt said on the show previously, those things don't happen overnight. Once the push fades, that's when you find the doghouse, and you find it for a long time. So there's no way Nia's winning this match against Ronda.
I surely hope not.
I just can't see it.
To give Ronda her first loss against Nia freaking Jax
at TLC.
Yeah,
no. I mean that would almost be enough for me to stop watching Raw again.
I mean, you got to have someone like Sasha Banks or Bayley take it off of her. I think her first loss should be to Becky at WrestleMania. Well, Becky,
that makes only sense. They're building up their damn feud so well.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just talking if they fuck it up somehow and have her go to the Rumble, but I don't know. We're booking it how we think it should be booked, but that never happens either, does it?
No, we're just lowly servants. We're regular people who pay our money just to go watch shows. We're not nobody smart.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost to the Midcard as we get ready for a big wrestling weekend here on Friday and also on Sunday. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure you search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time we go with a new show. Every Wednesday also, some select days possibly for some specials. So keep subscribed so you know when new episodes come your way. And to subscribe, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Go to our Twitter page at LITMC Podcast as well. Darryl, thank you for coming on again. Maybe we can get you back next week so we can talk about Final Battle's results.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts heading into the weekend?
The elite, the elite.
The elite, the elite. Follow Darryl on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD. He's going to be back and talk about the big wrestling weekend here next Wednesday. Matt, as we close it up, you can get Matt on the Twitter at Rob Showtime. And what are your final thoughts heading into Final Battle and TLC?
I really hope what we saw at the beginning of Raw on Monday was a wake-up call by the company. I hope it wasn't lip service. I hope they were genuinely serious. I hope they realize that they have absolutely made a lot of mistakes lately, and I hope this was the beginning of them correcting it. We'll know in a few weeks' time, if Raw returns to shit or not. But for now, I'm hoping that this was the start of some positive change on the main roster of the WWE. But only time will tell.
Well, now, was the direction of what Seth said? Do you think that came from Vince directly, or
no?
Who do you think it came? Who do you think?
Clearly, someone from creative wrote it for him, and they probably felt that way when they wrote it.
Now they're fired.
Vince would never. Vince would. I don't think Vince is that
kind of.
Yeah, I think he's too much of an egomaniac to admit something like that.
Yeah, but he had to green light the segment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Seth can pretty much say what the fuck he wants to say nowadays.
Yeah, but I don't think he can say that.
Man. It was very interesting. It definitely got everybody buzzing, so we'll find out. For Darryl, for Matt, I'm Jeremy Bennett. Find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. Have yourselves a good weekend. Enjoy that wrestling that's going to be put on the table for you here, and we'll be back at you next Wednesday.